Not So Long
Roll
Distance
6.
from Indiana Bell.
Sound it from 6.
The following program has been closed
So it'll be
captioned for the
Ken's
hearing
voiceover
impaired.
here. Then the 2 shot.
You are watching Indiana
Patty,
Zone,
window
Wish
3,
TV,
Ken, a
Channel
window
8.
type shot.
Now, Patty Spitler,
We will
Ken
be doing
Owen,
a live
Ray
center up
Rice
of
with
Patty on
Indiana
screen.
Zone, and Mike
Stand by
Andervett
Ken's
on your
microphone.
side.
And ready,
Live
super.
from Wish TV, this is News 8 at
And
5:30.
Mike Buchanan, super.
August 1964, the rock and roll supergroup The
And
Beatles
lose it.
stop in
Ready,
Indianapolis
sound
during their
under. There
first
will be
U.S.
sound
tour
coming
to
up
play
when
a
it
concert
turns
at
color.
the State Fairgrounds. Now, let's shuttle ahead 25 and a half years. The long and winding road brings Paul McCartney back to Indianapolis.
And lose it. Stand by
Now
the
a
2 shot
former
on
Beatle
2.
and a rock and roll legend, McCartney will play 2 sold-out shows
Stand by
at Market
2.
Square Arena beginning
Take
tonight.
2.
Yes, Paul is in
Going
town.
to
The
Patty,
concert is
window
now
3
just
next.
2.5 hours away, and the anxiety is building.
And in just a moment, we'll meet some people who wish they could see
Stand by, Penny,
McCartney
3.
8 days a week. But
Wave,
first,
take.
we have a quick look at some
Ready
of
to lose
today's
it.
top stories.
And lose it.
Shelbyville businessman Donald
Okay, we will
Beckham
be
is
centering
no
up Patty
longer
on
missing.
3.
The
We'll
FBI
dissolve
has
it
him
out.
in custody in Columbus, Ohio. Beckham mysteriously disappeared 5 weeks ago,
We will
and
be
there was
centering up
concern
Patty
he
on 3,
may have
dissolving
been
out the
kidnapped
still.
or murdered. He stands accused of faking his own abduction. Greenwood, Indiana native David Kent is still among the missing today.
Preset
He was
3, ready
abducted
to
in
dissolve
Colombia
out the
yesterday by a
window and
terrorist
center up
group,
Patty on
which says
3.
the action is a protest to President Bush's scheduled drug summit in that country.
And dissolve it out,
And a
center her up.
freezing
Get a
rain
window
and
shot
sleet
of
advisory
Ken
is in
now.
effect for parts of central Indiana
Going to
tonight
Ken,
and
window
early
1
tomorrow
next.
morning.
Stand
And
by,
Stan will
Ken,
have
window
more
1.
on the weather in just a little bit. Ken.
And take
Petty,
it.
he has sold
Ready to
more
lose it.
records than any songwriter or musician in history.
And lose
And
it.
tonight he is here to
You're going
entertain
to
Central
7 with
Indiana and people who have come here from
Fairgrounds
across
off
the
the
nation,
top.
even across
Ready,
foreign
7.
borders. Paul McCartney's critically acclaimed world tour is in Market Square Arena for the next 2 nights. And the last time the 47-year-old singer stepped foot on Hoosier
Roll
soil,
7.
the world was a different place.
And take it.
May I present the Beatles!
And lose it. Okay, we will be back out to a 2 shot on 2 for a tag. Then we'll go
Back
to
in
Patty, window
1964,
3.
TV
The
crews
same
shot
still,
in black
Patty,
and
window
white and on film. Paul McCartney was a mere lad from Liverpool, the dream of girls, the envy of
Ready,
boys.
super. And lose it.
The screams were just as loud 12 years later in 1976 when a now married Paul McCartney toured
change that
America
super,
but
skip
not
the super, we don't
Indianapolis
need it.
with his band Wings. Tonight with a new band, McCartney
So
comes
we'll be back
full
out
circle.
to a 2 shot on 2
A
for
figure
a
of
tag.
8,
Then
if
we'll
you
go
will.
to Patty, window 3, same still.
Hoosiers aren't the only ones excited about McCartney's appearance here. This man took the week off, drove down from London, Ontario, and bought a ticket
Ready,
for
super.
$100 this afternoon.
My friends are Beatle fans. They wish they could afford it
And lose
and
it.
go, but some of them think I'm really nuts.
And how about these guys? They're from Atlanta, Georgia. They've been following McCartney all around the country. Using vacation time, they're seeing as many shows as they can get in.
Right now,
Super.
we're talking 2, 4, 5, and there'll be,
lose
be
it.
5
Ready,
more that we
another
have
one.
tickets in
Play.
hand for. We call it the Fans on the Run tour.
Yeah, I'd
Super.
rather do this with my vacation than sit around on the beach.
And lose it.
This afternoon, with showtime
Ready,
still
Susie.
5 hours away, scalpers were asking $100 for tickets, and there were rumors of prime seats going for $200. Scalpers have this market cornered. So let's pretend I wanted tickets to the show. Are there any left?
No.
Super.
No tickets at all.
None whatsoever.
Lose it.
And this Greenwood man wonders
Ready,
what all
gone.
the fuss is about. I had to explain to him who Paul McCartney is. Can you believe people are paying up to $200 a ticket to see Paul McCartney?
Super.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding. Lose it. 10 seconds. Stand by 2 shot. Should they?
$200? Well, they shouldn't complain about paying $29 for a Colts ticket then, should they?
And take a cue on.
I guess not, Norman. The show starts tonight at 8 o'clock at MSA. It includes 15 Beatles songs. Paul will do Fool on the Hill, Eleanor Rigby, and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Stand
It's a
by,
great
Patty,
show.
window 3.
You know, if you love the Beatles, this may be the last hurrah. Paul McCartney's 47. It's been 13 years since he toured last. And something to point out, he's had some voice problems in the past couple of weeks, and he's cut a few songs out of the tour, the last few shows he's done, so it'll be interesting to see if he's back to full shape tonight and if he can
And
do a
left
full
just a
show
little
for
bit
us.
on
And you saw
three,
him
cut
in
out that
Chicago
shoulder.
just
It's a
recently?
great show. We'll talk some more about that later.
Oh, good. Well,
Right,
it
right
has
back,
been
right.
about 13,
Take it.
14 years since he's performed in live concerts, so
Ready,
fans
8.
are excited. On the northwest side of town, we found
Roll
such
8.
a fan.
And take it.
It's a banner
Was that
day. Paul
Stan
McCartney is in
already?
town.
All right.
2 sold-out concerts at Market
Okay,
Square Arena
2-shot on
tonight
2
and
set
tomorrow
to
night
zoom out
indicate
to a
his
3-shot.
appeal.
As they're
A
back
devoted
out to a
fan,
2-shot
28-year-old law
tag.
student Lori Brown
And
has had an
3 to
affection for
Stan.
Paul McCartney since 1976. And although
Do you have
she's had
Lori
several
Brown?
periods in her life where
We
she
don't have
was
this still.
fond of the
Super.
other
It's
Fab
all right.
Four members, it's Paul she's settled
In
on.
ways, he's
So no
very,
supers.
very deep and emotional and sensitive, and you can tell in the songs that he writes. And I mean, for somebody to be a rock star and have a 20-year marriage, it's just amazing. And his facial expressions are really neat.
One minute left in this.
Lori has plenty of music from the days of the Beatles to Paul's individual career, but she hasn't stopped there. Through the years, she has amassed a proud collection of posters, a pile of books and magazines, and other bits of memorabilia that include stamps, badges, and even a lunch bucket.
30,
Lori also has a wish for Paul.
30 seconds. We'll be
and what
dissolving
better
out
way
of
to
that.
get
Now
her
let's take
message
2.
to
We don't
him?
know what
Paul,
we don't know what it's gonna
if
be.
you're watching the news tonight, I know your concert will be wonderful tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Happy Valentine's Day.
20 seconds.
And thank
We'll be
you
out
for
to the 2-shot,
fulfilling
2
half of
for
my
tag,
life
and 2
the
will
past
zoom out
14
to
years
Stan, then we'll go
with
to
your
Stan
wonderful
on 3.
music.
It's terrific. Would you like to meet him?
Oh, God, would I?
10 seconds. Stand by the 2-shot on 2.
It's not a silly dream. Life's full of amazement.
Stand by 2. And take 2, count.
How about that, huh?
It's amazing. Some of these fans, too, who really
Ready to
were
zoom
very,
out.
very young when the Beatles were big.
She was. The
3
Beatles were
graphics,
no
Tom.
longer the Beatles at that time, and
No
she had
radar.
to go back sort of a retrospective at that time. Terrific. By the way, the lunch bucket, bought for $5. You know what it's worth now?
That's worth a lot of money.
$500 and counting.
Boy.
How about
Zoom
that?
on
Stan,
out.
have you got your Beatles lunch bucket?
Well, of course. Too bad I can't go tonight. I'm going to be busy telling people about this developing
right.
The
weather
weather's kind of
situation.
been here, there,
Right,
and
3,
everywhere
then
of late, hasn't it?
Exactly. The old
Take
song,
3.
My Funny Valentine. Today it was My Soggy Valentine,
it.
and here's why. We've got
Take
a
it.
mixed bag of weather going on. They have moderate snow at South Bend, freezing.